So here is how to do the tailwheel brackets. You get two of these in the kit. Here's the little wire, and the first thing we got to do is we got to bend this guy into a 45. So I'm going to grip it just right there, and I'm going to grab it tightly, making sure that this is going to be 90 degrees to the bend, and the bend is going to be, perpendicular to that guy there. And we just bend her on over, and we want to shoot for a little past a 45, a little tighter than a 45. Alright, so that right there is about what we're shooting for. Now, next thing you do is you got to find this little collar with the Allen key and one of these washers here, and we're going to use the little collar as a soldering helper. The washer goes on, okay, and then, oops, I don't even know what I'm doing. Let's do it down here. It would be a far better place to put it. I've been putting kits together too long. Alright, so there we go. There we've got washer and collar right where the wheel is going to sit. And we're going to snug this thing over towards the corner there. And with the Allen key supplied in the kit, tighten this guy on. Okay, just like that. Just snug it. You don't have to go crazy. You'll strip the Allen key if you do. So you're left with that right there. Okay. Now, I got my little hands here, and there you go. That's what we're sort of shooting for right there. Okay. And we will go ahead and solder that guy. Now, this is going to take a little bit of heat to get this done, because you got to heat up the whole washer and wire. So go ahead and set your iron on there. Get a little solder on the iron, because it'll help with heat transfer. And I don't know, it's probably going to take 20 seconds or so. You'll know when it's hot enough when the solder sort of flows and when it sort of melts on the back. There it goes. Okay, now you see I got the puddle going and the flux is fluxifying, and you just kind of work it around there just like that. And you can see the collar there kept the washer. This is not too hot. Okay. The collar there kept the washer perpendicular to the wire, nice and flat to the wire. Okay. So we can go ahead and take this collar off. And no, don't take that collar off, because the solder is still solidifying. I don't know if blowing on it will make any difference. This little Allen key comes in the bag. You get two of them because there's one in each bag. Don't lose this. You're going to need it, because if little carpet fuzzies or dog hair get caught around the wheel and around the axle, you're going to need to pull the collar off to get the little fuzzies out of there. So now we can take the collar off and we can replace it here. Alright, and it doesn't matter which way the Allen key goes, but it looks a little prettier if you set it this way. It'll be tucked under the robot when you're done. Alright, again, just snug it. You don't have to go crazy. And then we're going to go ahead and slide this guy through here. Alright. And then in the baggie of parts that has all the little screws in it, there should be two more collars, extra collars. And they go on the top here. I started the screws already. They might be a little tight. You might have to loosen it to get it around. Alright. Oh! This is extraordinarily hard to do when you're trying to watch everything you're doing through a viewfinder. Okay, so there's the completed tailwheel assembly. Okay, and then last but not least, go ahead and you can cut off the excess. Alright. And there you go. Now, there's only one more thing to do here. If you'll notice, the Allen key hits the bracket and doesn't let it go all the way around. And the reason is when these are actually used for tailwheel brackets, like on airplanes, model airplanes, there is not a collet on the top here. Now, for the life of me, I don't know why Dubro has not figured out that people use these brackets for other things, but they have not. Now, what to do is you need to grab your little hobby knife here and just make a little scraping, just a little goober worth of plastic out of here. Not very much at all. And if you use a sharp knife instead of the dull one I'm using, and you don't keep bumping the tripod, it'll work better. And that is it. You stick that guy back through there, put your collar back on, and Bob's your uncle. And that should, in theory, no, this one's going to need a little bit more. But that's it. You just got to make a little notch right there, just so that Allen key right there will clear. And that's it. At that point, you can go ahead and open up your tail wheel, and the last of the collars, which should be right here, and that's it. You stick your tail wheel on there with another collar on the outside, and that's it. Now, the only other thing you got to know here is I prefer to make a left and a right. If you look here, this is the pickaxe version of the same robot you're building, but you can see I've got one going in. They're both going in, so there's a left and a right. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever how you do this. You can do it any way you like, but I personally think they look a little better when they're either both pointing in or both pointing out. So so that be it. Like I said, the extra collars that you need will be in this little parts bag, and you'll have to do a little notch there to be sure the thing can go all the way around, and that's it. The last of anything you'll need to do is possibly slide these collars up or down to be sure that the two wheels are even to each other and that the deck of the robot is level. But you can adjust those all day long. And that's it. That's how you put the tail wheels together.